Previously on Survivor. As Morgan was on her way out, she painted a huge target on Amanda.
Yeah, here's Amanda. She's the only one playing this game. You guys, she's such a target. Like, what are you doing? I'm such a weak person. Like, don't vote me out. I'm only good at bolo.
After realizing she was on the bottom, Amanda tried to flip the vote onto Santi with Josh and Sadie.
I think it would be smarter to go for like Santi.
After hearing this from Sadie, Doug, Santi, and Tim began to formulate a new plan.
Josh? Yeah. I know. Well, he's throwing everybody's name around. And then he turned around, he threw Amanda's name out, Amanda out.
But without a majority, they decided to go with the easy vote, and Amanda was eliminated. 9 are left. Who will be voted out tonight?
Let me look it up on Twitter.
I don't really appreciate Amanda calling me, Delaram, and Sadie out at Tribal. Honestly, I just went there to have a good time, and I felt really attacked.
And like, I know we kind of had like beef before, and like I have been like kind of trying to get her out since day one, but like literally day one. Wow. But I did know, I was like, if I wasn't immune, like you totally would be coming for me. This week, now that she's gone, like I do feel a lot better, and like I don't think there's anyone like really going for me. Are you guys like down with Dane next week?
Yeah.
Because I really hope Doug doesn't like try to pull something.
The final 5 that I've been saying, who I think will be it, would be me, Abby, Santi, Doug, and Sadie. We're the majority right now. I can definitely trust Abby and Sadie to do that. The only problem is we're not majority. And then we were thinking of like a girls' alliance, which would be kind of cool with Angie. Would everyone go against Dane like that?
I don't know.
I told Doug.
That's the only thing, because Tim, Dane, and Amanda were like close. I don't know why Doug is really like pushing for Tim so hard. Because literally when we always talked, we were like final 5, us 3 girls, and then Doug, and then either it was gonna be like Santi or Josh, like interchangeably. Like we didn't know, like depending on what happened. Josh is literally like the crucial piece of this.
We can get Josh.
We need Josh.
We can get. I like Josh.
I think there are definitely divisions, but I hope that it will still be an easy vote. Doug and I are literally just like running this game, and we have like so much power, and we're so well connected. We've been chopping off the people that like we don't have a lot of allegiance to. I'm closer with Delaram and Abby and Josh, and then Doug is closer with Tim and Santi and Dane. Josh brought up, he was like trying to blindside Doug or Santi. I really don't want to blindside Doug because I really like him also like as a person, and I feel bad.
Also, even if we try to, he has the idol.
I feel like he might be
Oh,
hit.
you can't use the idol. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just so paranoid.
I mean,
Freaks herself
I
out.
can't believe I told you guys about Doug's idol. I'm like glad I did, but it's just like now I'm getting paranoid now.
Wait, really? You should trust us because like.
No, I know I do, but it's just like I just feel bad also because I like promised him I wouldn't tell anyone, but at this point he's like being sketchy.
to me, Dane is a wild card because I don't really know anything about him, and so like that makes him kind of dangerous to me. I don't really want that uncertainty going far into the game.
I think I can probably get Angie somehow. Like, she still kind of feels like on the outs. Josh just, I told him I wanted to work with him, and he said, yeah, I was hoping you'd be willing. LOL. That word's weird.
Just be like, what's in the past is in the past. Like,
yeah.
Let's just go out there and kick some ass. No, don't say that.
I'm mad.
Okay,
Ryan.
Sadie, I like 87% trust her. I feel like she and Doug are both big power players, and if Doug was out of the way, I feel like that would set her up nicely to get to the final. And so if I could frame it in that way for her, I feel like she could go for it.
Like, do you know who you kind of want to get out next?
I want to get out Dane next.
Okay, why?
I just don't know anything about him, and I feel like it's kind of unsafe to take someone like you're not sure about, like far, just because you don't know. Like, kind of like there's too much uncertainty there.
Sadie, like, I feel like we're on okay terms, but I don't know what her thoughts are.
I like talk to them, and they definitely want to work with you.
So me right now, I'm in like a bittersweet position. I don't think I'm exactly at the bottom. I think everyone is trying to talk to me and like get on my good side, so I like team up with them.
Not necessarily like a girls' alliance, but like us 4 and then Josh.
to kind of control the game.
The game has definitely turned slightly in my favor just because I do have like the say of like who's going home.
In my perspective, I just think that like you, Delaram, and Sadie are just gonna stick together, and then when it comes down to it, that you guys would just like kick me out, because I feel like I would be at the bottom of that.
I feel like my loyalties like can change at any point. Like I'm not like firmly entrenched in them. Like it's kind of dangerous to like put all your trust into people. I definitely am like willing to like work with other people. Like I feel like I've kind of played this game like really straightforward.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily like the best thing to do, and especially as the game becomes more complicated and there's less people. As much as I like Sadie, like I don't know if I can fully trust her. I've talked to Angie. I think they would be down because that would like that would save them at least for a little while. I definitely think Doug and Tim and them are definitely a more dangerous faction.
Yeah, I think so too.
So I think if we have the majority, we kind of like pick them off.
Of course I'm upset that Amanda's voted out. Like, she was probably my closest ally with Tim and Doug. And she told me a lot about the game too. She's the reason I knew that Sadie was aligned with Abby and Delaram, aside from the fact that she like spilled it to everybody during our tribal. Loyalty is like not even a given in this game. You can only trust people so much, and you have to put trust in people if you want to get through the game, but could everyone just blindside me this week? Maybe. But I honestly feel like with numbers dwindling, my vote's just getting more and more important. Not like this week, but a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, you know, Santi's really strong, he's really good. I don't want him this week, but I want him in future weeks.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody knows that you're a really strong player. Like, you don't have to be modest about it either. Like, people know that you're really good. You've probably even heard me talking about that because I've briefly mentioned to people about it.
My hope and my security for making it to the end is like relying on Doug, but also like I also think I have really good connections made up to this point.
Kind of like you have to analyze where you are in terms of the spectrum of people.
Sure.
Like if you're a mid-tier player, like the more bottom rung players go out. Like that's how I kind of feel. Like I don't feel like I'm at the bottom, but there are a couple people below me, and as soon as they go out, it's like, man, where am I going to be in this rung now? Am I going to be suddenly that bottom tier player that people are just like, yep.
And I think for most of this game, I've just been naive and just trusting people a lot. And now I think I just got to open my eyes to the reality that like most people are just looking out for themselves in the end and trying to set themselves up. Me, Doug, Dane, Tim, those are the people I feel the best about right now.
I'm close with Doug. I'm not really close with Sadie. So if you want to talk to Doug about a future plan, let me know.
That sounds good.
When I met with Santi, he went back to Doug and said, like, you know, Dane was actually really honest with me, and I feel like him being that straightforward means he'll want to work with me.
So basically what it looks like is like me, Tim, Sadie, Dalaram, Abby. We can get Santi. He's not close. And then there's Angie and Josh. So who are we going to go for? Josh?
Josh is probably the one that's going to put me in danger, not going to lie.
But Josh has also brought up my name for Sadie, which is like, if there's one thing you shouldn't do in this game, it's probably that. Me and Sadie talked, and we're still like working together, but we understand that we're like the two like power players in the game controlling things. So we just keep arguing over who should go home. So that's why I initially suggested Angie, because that's easy. When Sadie's like, no, we have to go to Dane or Tim. I think we can pull it, because if we have Miyu, Santi, and Tim, we would just need one more. I could talk to
Angie felt like an idol was gonna be played too.
Yeah. Hopefully next challenge someone can find it.
Right. Well, you have to look under the right table.
Yeah, exactly. What the heck?
So I'm thinking like left or right could be like 2 tables. It's the one on the right.
She shared the idol clue with me and sent every single other person a fake idol clue. Sadie's idol clue said something about the idol being under the beam and by the concrete. And what she sent to everyone else, she said that it was like by the table.
So when Delaram sent me the clue, I was like, wow, that's really specific. Like, I don't want other people finding this idol. And I made this with like Doug, and we like proofread it and everything. And it said like, to gain safety at a tribal, you may be able if you keep your eyes just right of the table.
We have like options going forward, I guess.
Yeah. Like, if you're saying that Amanda was like one of your closer people, then why didn't you like want to make the move to like keep her in?
I didn't want to like make the move and then it be like a tie or something.
When Amanda called out like Sadie, Abby, and Delaram, a part of me was like, yeah, like you go girl, but at the same time, I feel like it doesn't even matter at this point because people are dumb. Like, every single person is like, oh, like I know that Sadie's a threat, blah, 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 and like I don't want to go far with her. And then they do anything except for getting her out. And it's just so annoying because people are like telling me one thing, but they're not actually doing anything towards what they're saying.
I thought that Josh would be very weary about it because I know he's really close to Sadie. Like, as of right now, I'm pretty sure he's gonna stick with her, like, no matter what. Straight up, Sadie did, like, mention when I did meet with her, like, last week that she eventually wants to, like, vote you out. She didn't say, like, when or, like, how soon.
I trust Tim now, like, a lot. And, like, I like Dane a lot. And I like you, too. Like, I think that we could, like, turn this game around if we want.
Okay, personally, I would love to get out one of like the bigger players, as in like Sadie or Doug. The thing is, it's funny because everyone's like telling me like, oh, like I'm gonna stick with you, blah blah blah, and I'm like thinking, well, I don't want to go to the end with you. So it's just, I personally want to get Doug out right now.
For me, I have like 2 options to like choose from. Like I can either stick with like Abby and them, or like I can stick with like you guys.
Right.
So welcome back, Final 9, to your next immunity challenge. Before we start, Sadie, I'm gonna need that back. Today's challenge is called Dizzy Bat. Here's how it works. There's going to be 4 rounds. The first 3 rounds are all preliminaries. It's going to be 3 people each round. The first person to finish from the first 3 rounds will advance to the final round. The way this will work is you will start at the end of the field. You will have a yellow bat in your hand. You're going to place the bat onto the ground and you're going to put your forehead on top of the bat. You're going to do 10 spins around the bat. You're then going to run up, go over the balance beam one at a time. Once you're past the balance beam, you have to run over to these cones. You have to take a spoon and an egg, put the spoon in your mouth, and you must carry that egg and that spoon to those cones. The first person to pass those cones gets to the final round. Winning this challenge will earn you individual immunity, giving you a 1 in 8 shot at winning this game, and will allow you to give a hidden immunity idol clue to the person of your choosing. Everyone understands? All right. First round, we have Tim, Josh, and Delaram. Survivors ready? Go!
1, 3, 4, 9,
10. You're good. Tim struggling to hold that balance on the balance beam. It is wobbly. And Tim falls off, giving Josh the chance to catch up.
10, go, 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 go.
Josh falls. It is now back to Tim. This balance beam is not easy when you're not dizzy. Oh! That does not count. Oh, come on, Andrew! Tim takes a spill and unfortunately does not pass. Dog, having trouble. And Delaram succeeds. She is going past. She is now at the egg. Josh trying his best. Josh falls. Back to Tim. Tim succeeds. Delaram is gunning there slow and steady. Tim just slides. Delaram's almost there. And Delaram has it! Yay! Right. This round we have Abby, Santi, and Angie. Survivors ready? Go!
1, 2,
4, 5. Question is, oh, and Santi's done first. Santi running sideways.
10.
Angie is right behind him. Santi is having trouble getting onto this. This is not a surfing challenge. And Santi falls off. This balance beam proving to be a lot of trouble.
Oh, shit.
And Angie makes it! It only took Stella on one try. We'll take Angie on one side. Angie confidently struts to the end, and Angie gets it!
He's so bad.
Oh, me too. Oh. It is between Doug, Dane, and Sadie. Survivors ready. Go!
1, 2, head on the bat. 3.
Doug going wild.
10.
Doug is running. He is in the lead. Question is, will he get this right? And Doug falls.
Where am I going?
Dane doing some karate moves before getting on. And Dane falls, which means Doug is up again. And Doug goes. He is the only one right now. Sadie, not far behind him. Sadie, now right behind Doug. Doug, speed walking. And Doug makes it. Doug advancing to the final round. All right, so in this final round, Delaram, Doug, and Angie, you will now be doing 15 spins instead of 10.
Wow.
In addition, you will take the egg to the end of the cones. You will then have to smash it against a tree. Once you've done that, you'll have to go to a second set of cones. Grab one of the 3 colored balls and toss it into a box. If you miss, you have to go get that ball and try again. The first person to land the ball in the box wins immunity, has a 1 in 8 shot at winning this game, and gets to give someone a clue to the hidden immunity idol. For immunity, Doug, Angie, Delaram. Survivors ready. Go!
1, 2, 4, 5, 15. Go. 12. Delaram's at 12. 13.
Giving Angie plenty of time.
15. Go, go, go.
Angie almost past the balance beam, and she makes it.
Sadie's idol clue said something about the idol being under the beam and by the concrete.
You okay, Dad?
Yeah, I'm good. Dalaram falls. Doug having trouble. Angie is on the balls. Angie wins immunity.
Nice job.
All right, so Angie. If you don't want it, you don't have to take it.
Ow! Yeah.
All right, Angie, individual immunity. All right, Doug, congratulations. Angie, you cannot be voted out of this game. You have a 1 in 8 shot at winning. The rest of you, one of you will be voted out next time. And if it's been going how it has been going, I guess it'll be 8-1. But anyways, have a good night.
So, winning immunity, trust me when I say this, like, the feeling you get is just so amazing. Like, you feel so accomplished, and that's exactly how I felt. A huge, like, weight was lifted off of my shoulder because I knew that, like, this was my time to actually, like, have a say in something.
Shit, what's up? I thought I was headed back. Yeah. I realized walking like 3 steps I was going the wrong way. Maybe I'm still dizzy.
I wake up and I have a stream of texts from Sadie. It's what woke me up actually, and it was the first few texts were not meant for me. They were meant for Doug, and they were about getting me out. So that was really unpleasant. And then Sadie realized how awful the mistake she made was, and said, "Oh, this is bad, my awk," or like something weird about it being awkward, and then sent me screenshots of her and Doug's conversation, like pushing for Dane. And then all I said was like, "Wow, this is not what I expected to wake up to. Like, let's talk today." But it was like 5 texts, and then it was the apology, and then it was the screenshots. So it was like a pretty good amount of time before she realized, and she seemed very genuine that it was a mistake, and that she was telling Doug she was down to get me out, but really wanted Dane. But I really think Sadie was being genuine that she didn't want me out right now.
Okay, start the challenge. Look what I found.
Oh my gosh, what is that?
I don't know. What is it? So right now I'm working on my collection. All 3 idols. I could keep them all for myself and play one like the last 3 travels where I can. I could dish them out like cookies. Like, I don't know. It's gonna be a fun time. So Sadie knew. She's the one who told me where it was when we were walking back. She pointed it out to me.
Okay.
Did she send you that one idol clue?
Yeah.
It was fake. She sent it to everyone.
Why did she do that?
I don't know. Well, just because she wanted like her to find it or me. She walked back with Abby and Dollar and told them I found it.
That's
because she was watching me the whole time. So she like obviously, and I wasn't gonna like lie to her because she told me about it. So I told the first one to nobody. This is my secret. Told the second one to Sadie, Santiago, and Tim, because I feel like I can trust all of them, and they've been my #1 allies since like day 1. This idol. So I told Sadie. But then I text Sadie after, and she said she tells Dalaram and Abby. Right now we were gonna like flip and like work with Tim and Dane, but Dalaram and Abby now know that I have this. Sadie knows I have 2 of them, so like if I make a wrong move, I could be blown up real fast and go home in an instant. But they want to make a final 5 with us 2. So Sadie, Abby, Dalaram. But they want to get Dane out really bad.
This next one?
Yeah, I don't want everyone to start knowing about everything, and then like if we
this
choose
is
a side
definitely
to
one you
blow
gotta
up.
keep secret. It'll blow up. This will blow up.
No matter what, something's gonna blow up.
I don't like the final 5 that Sadie proposed, just because I think Dalaram and Abby are gonna be following Sadie all the way through. I definitely think Sadie would take me out. Before Doug, for sure. one thing that's been on my mind, and one of the reasons I've kind of kept my distance over the last couple of weeks, or like the last week I should say, is Amanda told me you like try to lead a charge against me for the last vote.
Like instead of Amanda?
Yeah, and she's not the only person I heard that from. Stuck my neck out, to keep you in the game.
Amanda said that to me. That's why I'm surprised. Amanda was like, I don't want her to hear me. Like, would you guys vote Santi?
It's just been kind of a period where like I don't know who I trust anymore. Originally Josh was in there, but I know he was like trying to like lead a big rally to blindside either me or Doug. I don't know. I thought we had like a really good crew
Me
to
too.
make it to the
I
end
do
of it.
too.
And so I thought like you were feeling good about that. So like yeah, I don't know. Just hearing that surprised me. So
Yeah, that's definitely surprising. I'm committed to this, and like, I want this to go the way it can. But like, I can tell you that like after you heard that, like I am loyal to you, and like I want to vote together with you.
It's definitely a thought that's crossed my mind plenty of times that like Doug or Santi should be blindsided because they're huge threats, and it's not something I necessarily want to do.
It's a lot easier to work with people, that like tell you straight up what's...
Yeah, for sure. And I want to tell you straight up. Like,
yeah. I love Josh. In the game, out of the game, but can't do that and expect to keep my trust.
I'm getting worried about tomorrow. Like, my plan is Dane.
My plan is
yeah,
Dane.
okay, awesome.
I know, like, we haven't really talked in the past.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, like, the whole Liam thing, like, it's behind us.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's like
That's
a
what
new
I-
game.
yeah,
So, I
totally.
want to, like, work with you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting Dane out because I don't trust him. He's just another number for Tim to like drag around.
I would love to stick with, like, Sadie, you and Delaram. Like, Angie, I would love for her to be a part of that. Like, I think those five,
The
could
five
do a
of
lot.
us, yeah, like,
Because,
we
like,
could have a
next vote, we could get out. We could get, like, Doug.
So now Doug has 2 idols, which sets him up pretty nicely and also makes me very worried for the future. Definitely, I think those 2 idols pose a huge threat at Final 5 because the goal is to have a girls' majority with me, Sadie, and Delaram and pick the guys off. Clearly, if Doug still has his idols, that's going to be difficult.
Doug texted me yesterday. He has the idol.
Okay. Damn.
So,
He's
like, he
kinda-
found it yesterday.
Okay.
So,
Damn.
yeah. So, like, that could be, like, something to think about.
Yeah, for sure.
I was talking to Abby in Stamp, and she like super casually mentioned that Doug had the idol, and she was just like, yeah, Doug has the idol, he found it. And I was just like, okay, yeah. And I just, because I didn't want to be like, what? Like, how do you know that? Like what the fuck?
Like, I would go for Doug before I go for Santi. Like, especially with Doug having the idol. Like, and he has connections to Sadie and Stam and stuff, so.
Yeah.
I think that the target on Doug's back should be taken care of soon. I want to make a move this round, next round. I have been pushing Sadie for that. She doesn't want to do it. She's been timid because they're friends, but like, he knows it's a game, she knows it's a game, we all know it's a game. So you like have to do things in this game, and it's really frustrating for me actually. So I didn't join Survivor just to like sit around and like have 6-1 votes.
So as of right now, I 100% am like not sure what I'm gonna do.
Me too. Sadie's gonna vote for Dane.
Okay, she did text me that, but I wasn't sure if she was just telling me that just to like throw me off guard.
So right now, I'm in the middle of these 2 Final 5 deals with like me, Santi, Angie, Tim, and Dane, and then me, Santi, Abby, and Sadie. So what I want to do basically is get Josh out because he's in neither of them.
I actually want to keep Josh in, and like I know you and Tim already know that, just like from me telling you that.
Yeah.
I like genuinely wanted to work with you guys. Like going into after Amanda's vote, I was going to like stick with you guys like no matter what, just because like Josh was like kind of sketching me out with the whole Sadie thing.
Yeah.
But then like now it's like the plans are even because you guys are talking to Sadie too, so it's just like I don't know what's going on at this point.
I don't know what to do because all the guys want Josh out, but I kind of personally want Josh in, so like I can kind of use him as a vote to get like one of the bigger players out. Because I know that he wants like Doug or Tim or Dane out later, and like if I have him, it'll be easier to like count on him to like get one of them out.
If you're really close to Josh, I feel like it makes like someone like me nervous, just because like it's like, oh, are you guys gonna team up with if Josh
like,
is also
against
close
you?
with Sadie?
no matter which like side I go, I'm kind of like stuck with people that are in pairs, and it's just kind of like nerve-wracking for me because you guys could easily just team up and get me out.
I think in the end, like being honest, I'd have a better, like a worse shot against like Santi or Tim.
Oh, like winning against him. So if you're saying to me like you have a better chance of winning against like me or like Dane or like Josh, then why are you trying to get Josh out instead of like Sadie out?
Because right now I do think that Sadie wouldn't vote me out for right now, whereas I think Josh would, 100%.
Cut off Sadie's power, and I'm like, instead of doing that, why don't you just go for Sadie and like get out the threat? Like, what are you doing?
Josh is the only one that like doesn't really have a definitive like pair that he like knows is gonna like stick with him, and I need someone like that isn't gonna choose someone else over me.
Right.
So how'd you meet with Angie go?
Doug,
fill us
my
in.
gosh, she literally is so difficult. I literally don't want to work with her just because she's so untrustworthy.
And at this point, I'm just really grateful that I had met up with Angie right after the Morgan vote and been like, hey, I know you just lost your ally. I want to meet up and like work with you. She'd either tell me who she's voting for or she'd vote with us. Sadie already has her 2 people she wants to go to the end with. Like, but on my side, like, I don't have the people yet. I have Dane.
So you know that me, Sadie, Delram, and Abby have been like working together since like New Chicago. Like Abby said that at Tribal that like she's close to us. So like we're still like I haven't done anything wrong. So they basically like want to work with me going forward, kind of still. So like I was just like go along with what they say and everything. So if we voted Dane, I said we'll do Dane if we promise Josh next. And like they all said like yeah, I want Josh out gone too, but like Dane first. For
They don't
whatever
want Josh
reason.
gone.
I don't
They
know.
want Josh gone. Josh literally tells them everything.
So like
She's just gonna play you. If
That's
you
why
were
I
her,
like
if you
Josh
were
gone.
her, what would you do?
I know, but I'm just saying that like I think, but Abby and Delram both want Josh out, and they're straightforward. They're like they wouldn't vote like one of us.
You know what would really suck? If we all go Josh, and then this is obviously not worst case scenario, but the most likely bad scenario is that we all vote Josh. It's not enough. Angie goes with them, and then we get picked off.
Voting Josh out is already gonna like make Sadie lose trust in me because she really wants Dane. I agreed to her that we'd get Dane out next. So if I vote Josh out with everyone, like she's not gonna be that happy. But I do think that like Angie and Dane are like threats. They're both very like schemy and like paranoid people. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I haven't thought that far ahead. I kind of want this one to happen and then we'll see from then. Yeah, I wouldn't want to waste an idol to get like Angie out.
So we can't. If we use it,
I think that'd be like so stupid.
If we use it, we get Sadie.
Tonight? That's too soon.
What are you gonna
Too
do?
soon.
What are you
Too
gonna do?
soon.
Head off the snake. Angie gets scared. Angie comes with us. We pick the other ones off.
No,
What are you talking about? Too soon.
That'd be freaking wild.
That'd be amazing.
I look almost something, but like no.
Aren't you a fan of the game?
I love this game more than anything.
Then why don't you do it for the game?
That would be freaking wild, Doug. Consider it for a second.
I am.
Without the fact that
No, I
Sadie
know.
would hate you forever.
She literally would kill me.
Were they trying to convince you to get Josh out, like vote Josh out? Because that's
Yeah.
okay. And so as of right now, you're not doing that?
No, we're going for Dane. Josh, like, was, like, kind of trying to blindside Santi, like, down the road, I think. Like, I don't know if he mentioned it to you. We were gonna wait a little, but then blindside Santi later.
I know that Tim, Doug, and Sadie are like still close and still talking, and it's just like baffling to see that they're like trying to help each other stay in as of right now instead of gunning for each other.
And then so like Doug kind of just got like really, like, I think he just got a little sketched out by Josh. I keep telling Doug it doesn't matter. Like, it literally doesn't matter. We have majority, and at this point, I feel like he kind of owes me in some way, just because, like, I did tell him where the idol was, and I feel like that shows that I'm like into this relationship like 100%. Basically, we're just gonna pick off Angie, Josh, Tim, and Dane. I really want Dane, and he really wants Josh. My reasons for getting Dane out right now are, it's not necessarily like a strategic vote at all. He was like, I know about your alliance with like Delram and Abby, and he was like, I know more than you think I know, so like, stop trying to manipulate me. We're not on the top of each other's list.
It makes sense for you wanting to keep Delram and Abby, because
Right.
like, out of those three, it's kind of obvious you would win.
Right.
Kinda, like,
Also
keep them
though,
too, so,
like Amanda was also just like saying shit, and like, you know how like
just to like save her ass.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not like final three.
In this game, like, anything really can happen, and you can honestly say anything, and it's just like hard realizing that like lying is appropriate in this game because I'm not used to it, and like I honestly don't like being lied to.
I just kind of wanted to see like if you're actually voting for Dane or not, because Josh was telling me that you were, and like if Josh tells me something, like I kind of need to like verify it just in case.
Like, she's literally just playing every side, I feel like, and trying to like tear everyone apart so like she can slip through. And I was like, yeah, basically. So I was like, she's obviously like a fish. Like, let's get her out next chance we get. I'm pretty sure like we're all set for team.
All as in who?
Like me, Doug, Delaram, Abby, Santi, and Tim. And would you rather have Dane go from the Josh?
Just the fact that she wants Dane out, that means that she's still talking to like Tim and Doug, I feel like. So I don't even want to like address to Sadie like, oh, like would you consider getting Doug or Tim out at this point instead of Dane? Because I feel like she would just go straight up and tell Doug and Tim, be like, look, Angie just said your name.
Who are you voting for tonight? I guess that's like the real question.
Honestly, it depends on what you're doing. But right now, we wanted to do Josh. We didn't have enough votes, so we're probably going Dane. I wanted to do Josh only because he threw my name around, and then, like, that scared me, and I think he's influential and could do that. If you, like, whatever you want to do. I just want to avoid, like, what happened last time.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm like, you think I'm being sketchy or anything. I'm just straight up telling you, like, this has been my thought process.
Dude, I have no one to rely on because everyone is like attached to someone, and I just really want to cut off someone's like butt. Because then like I'll have more options to like work with people.
My thought process is, from what it's looking up until now, people are just picking off like the smaller players. Like
Josh is not a small player.
How so? I thought he was.
I guess that's just perspective.
Who else would he have like influence over? But, like, he's obviously not gonna have you guys, so then he has to turn to the girls.
Yeah.
And the girls, like, I don't see myself flipping like, over to him, like over you guys, like later on.
Yeah.
Voting out Dane, that would mean that I would kind of have to work with like the girls and Josh. But Sadie, Delaram, and Abby, like that little click right there needs to go.
I really do trust you. Like, Tim and Dane I haven't worked with before. Like, I want to trust them, but like I haven't worked with them before, and I know that they're stuck together. And Doug, like, I trust him, but like I know he's close to Sadie. Sadie just told me that, like, when I was talking to her.
With Tim, Dane, Doug, and Santi, if I get out Josh, I feel like I don't trust them as much to like actually keep me around. I feel like they're telling me that they're just gonna pick off Sadie, Delaram, and Abby after Josh is gone, but a part of me really doesn't believe that. In either case, it's just a matter of trust, and I don't really trust anyone, so that just puts me in a bad position because I need to go based on what people are telling me, and I feel like everyone who's talking to me is just like telling me what I want to hear.
If you're looking at it from my perspective, all I see are like people that have numbers and that want to stick with each other, and here I am by myself. Like, would you guys flip on me? Like, that's what I'm just scared of.
No, we would not flip on you. I think this is a very solid Final Five, and I can give you my word on that. I've been 100% honest with her, whether it's been that she's my number one, or whether it's been I don't trust you at all. Me telling her that and saying, like, I want to work with you and I trust you right now, should hopefully be believable. I want to take her to the Final Five at least, if not further. So we'll see where that goes. I mean, hopefully I can convince her of that, and hopefully she trusts me on that. I've been honest with you this entire game. And so I'm telling you, like, I have your back. They've been sincere about wanting to work with you. I think they just get nervous when it's like, is Angie with us or not?
If I vote Josh, in your opinion, do you really think that Tim, Dane, and Doug will actually trust me later on?
All right, welcome back, Final 9. We are now welcoming back the jury members. Amanda voted out at the last tribal council. Sadie, last time we were here, Amanda called you, Delaram, and Abby out, and she's like, yo, Sadie, she's a big threat. We should vote her out. You had immunity. Are you worried about this tribal being the target?
I think it's like a possibility, but I'm just relying on like the people that I have relationships with that they won't backstab me. But I think I'm safe for this tribal. Like I would be very surprised if I went home. Like I'll be honest.
Santi, for the past 2 votes, we've had an overwhelming majority against 1 or 2 people. That's pretty unusual. Do you feel like that's going to continue with this tribal?
Can't say for sure, but I'd honestly be surprised if it was.
Tim, does that mean there are divisions going on right now?
I think there's definitely clearer divisions than there were a week ago. That being said, it's still very blurred. It's not as clear cut as one would expect at this point in the game.
What happened last week was that there were 2 pretty clear sides, and then people said, like, I want to save my vote this week, and so I'm going to vote Amanda out. I'd be shocked if that happened this week.
Doug, how about you? Have you really started to think about who am I bringing to the end?
I mean, if that has never crossed your mind or even playing this game, like I'm sure everyone's like thought about it at some point.
Josh, obviously there are big threats in this game. Have these perceptions made it relevant in your thinking of how you're going to move forward in this game?
Throughout this whole game, from the time you have 20 people left, you can identify threats. It's about taking the people that you want farther in the game, the people that you've been loyal with, the people that you want to go farther with. It's a balance for everyone. I think it's go with the people that you want to stick with and that you're loyal with.
So, Angie, loyalty can mean a lot in this game. Obviously, if you can trust someone, they're not going to vote you out. Do you feel like there is a lot of loyalty going on, or do you feel like there's a lot of false loyalty? Just sort of like, yeah, I'm not going to target you this week.
I feel like a lot of people, when they're talking to other people, they like kind of gear towards what the other person wants to hear. I mean, there is definitely loyalty in play, which I hope so. At this point, you kind of have to base it on what people are telling you and like trust that they're actually saying what they mean.
I think the only way you can prove loyalty in this game is writing down the person on paper that you've like said you're going to. We've all worked together for a long time now, so you can just see based off who's like stuck with you throughout this game.
And then I think further down the road, it'll definitely be more evident where the divisions lie and who's loyal to who. Also, if you laugh at my jokes, I think you're loyal.
Can we use the mute button right now?
Not looking good for you tonight, Abby.
Obviously, like in this game, at this point, like it's an individual game. There can only be one winner. You definitely like need alliances to get far. And at a certain point, there's not much you can do other than like trust the people you've been working with. Like if everyone really wanted to, everyone could just like stab you in the back, but like you just gotta really put a lot of trust in the people that you've been working with and hope that they're loyal.
We're talking a lot about trust, Abby. Do you feel like because you are roommates, there is sort of a sense of trust because you do live together, you sleep in the same room?
Yeah. One of us sleeps a lot, but I mean, I definitely think there's a level of trust, especially since this is our second year of living together. So I feel like I do kind of know how Delaram works, like as a person, and so I think I do trust her because like we're roommates.
Most trustworthy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We also want to be most trustworthy, so we do lots of trust activities together.
Trust falls.
Trust falls.
Doug, the same question to you. How does it feel to be in the final 9 with your roommate?
Well, we've never actually lived in the same room together, so there's no ties right there. No, just kidding. It's like, really, it's fun. I don't know. But we understand, like, I'm not here to get him to the end and get voted out. Like, we're both here to win, and I feel like as all 9 of us are.
Past friendships are like an advantage, whether it's roommates or whether Quidditch team or like whatever it is. There are a lot of different ways that people knew each other, and I think that's one of the reasons that makes this game fun, is like already coming in, knowing people and seeing how different it is from like the real world. And so at the end of the day, like I expect him to make decisions based on what's in his best interest, and I'm going to do the same.
Sadie, we're at the final 9, and there's been literally no talk about idols. I mean, there are still 3 idols in this game. None of them have been played. I mean, does that seem suspicious?
Well, yeah, obviously, because if you think about like 1/3 of the people here like have idols, I guess. So like, and I don't have one, so that kind of sucks.
I guess we'll see where the trust lies tonight. If anyone wants to say anything, they can say it now.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna mince words. My name's going down tonight. Like, let's be real. Sadie, you told me that straight up. Like, I know what's gonna happen. And people have been voting in the past couple of weeks just straight out of fear. And you have to remember, people are jury members when they go home now. So if people see that you're voting out of fear and not because you want to do loyalty or want to make any kind of move, you gotta understand that the jury's gonna take that into account if you make it far in the game.
Fear, trust. Maybe they're the same thing, maybe they're completely different. I guess we'll see what really characterizes the votes tonight. I'm gonna guess no one else has anything to say, so it's time to vote.
People are gonna be mad either way, so might as well just do what's best for me.
Cool. Yeah, let's just make this quick. We'll see if I go home tonight. If I do, good games, everyone. If not, see you later. Live another day. I'm sorry, Dane. I'm not really that sorry, but...
Half of me is like gonna regret this decision. Wait, who am I voting for?
Feels wet. I'm not voting out of fear. I just don't know you.
So cool.
Alright. If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and you would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Once the votes have been read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. Read the votes. First vote. Dane. Second vote. Dane. Third vote. Dane. That is 3 votes Dane, 6 votes left. Fourth vote. Dane. Fifth vote. Josh. Sixth vote. Josh. Seventh vote. Yes. Josh. That is 3 votes Josh, 4 votes Dane, 2 votes left. Eighth vote. Josh. That is 4 votes Josh, 4 votes Dane, 1 vote left. 12th person, voted out a survivor, major conflict, and the 3rd member of our jury. Josh. That's 5. That's enough for tonight. Josh, you try to smoke it. Let me go. Well, definitely wasn't unanimous. The question is, was this a vote for trust or a vote out of fear? Have a good night, guys.
So, not what I thought was going to happen, but not the worst thing in the world. I feel like I played my cards. I made my arguments to the people that I needed to, and things shook out the way they did. And maybe I went after people a little too much. I spooked people a little, but it is what it is at the end of the day, and it was an amazing experience regardless, and I had a blast. But I lasted a lot longer than I thought I would in this game, especially after the Liam vote. It was definitely up in the air. How long my shelf life was in this game. So getting 9th place isn't the worst. Being the 3rd member of the jury and having a say in the rest of this game, it's an honor, and I'll have a great time picking whoever wins, and I'm going to cherish the rest of this just like I cherished the beginning part of this.
Next time on Survivor. After lines were drawn, an endurance challenge in the freezing cold brings out new fire in everyone.
Can you trust me enough to let me have immunity for once so that when we ride to the final 3, we can both say that we fought hard?
And with only 8 players remaining, big moves are gonna be made.
But it makes sense Survivor, doesn't it? And Doug would understand why we wouldn't tell him.